Alright, so I got the latest Ready to Fly kit here from Newbie Drone, the VR drone. This is another Ready to Fly kit, basically analog FPV for those of you that are looking for a budget way to get started in FPV. And this is, I believe, around $170, $180, something like that. Pretty decent price for, you're gonna get the whole thing. So you get the drone, remote, and the monitor. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got. Alright, you got a nice kind of cloth case here, carrying handle. And things are falling out, so what do we got here? Some kind of a USB-C adapter. Got some instructions. So pretty basic, probably, you know, how to charge the batteries, charging the transmitter, turning the transmitter on and off, goggle operation, flight controls. We're going to talk about all this in the video, but just, showing you. They got some pretty good documentation. Got a spare set of these props. They're the ASI Tri-Blade. Got a USB-C cable here, but this is probably for charging up the goggles and remote. Got an antenna here. It's probably going to go on the goggles. Oh, you got a nice little gold Acrobi Newbie Drone prop tool. Pretty cool if it's for changing out your broken props. And here's the controller. A and B buttons here. Nice 3-position switch here. 2-position switch on the left. And obviously this looks kind of like a toy grade gimbal, obviously. We'll have to see how much resolution there is. And long press the button. Looks like that turns things on. I don't see a light. Oh, there we go. Now we have a light. And thing vibrates. And oh, there's the USB-C port for charging it. Alright, so here are the goggles. Pretty cool. And you're like, hey, where's the drone? And the drone is actually stored inside the goggles. So you're going to pop this screen off here. So let's go ahead and pull these straps back. So obviously you got a head strap here. 3-point head strap. And you can adjust that with the Velcro there. But the screen pops off the goggles. Oh, and interestingly, the goggle strap goes through the screen as well. That's nice. So you won't have the screen popping off by accident and flying off somewhere. But let's get rid of this packaging here, and then here's the screen. It's a bit smaller than I thought it would be. I forget what size this is. I'll put up on the screen here. And as you can see, there's the drone and the batteries. Pretty cool. And all this is these are some magnets here that hold the monitor in place, and this whole thing is in a tray, and this just pops out like this. Very cool. And you got your Fresnel lens there, and then the monitor. We'll just let's go pull this down. Goes back on like so, and yeah, can't see in there. I'll turn on here in a second. Let's look at this little tray. Pretty cool, a little storage tray for the drone and the batteries, and this is also the charger. You're gonna plug in your power source here, USB-C to a power bank, whatever, and then you can charge up your batteries. There's your standard nitro nectar, 250 milliamp hours. I haven't seen these smaller, probably because these are brushed motors and they don't eat up as much power. But yeah, they just plug into here, and then probably the light turns green when it is done. But you have a spot for, so it includes 4 batteries, but you can add, obviously, it's got spots for 8 more, so you have 12 batteries total. Pretty cool. And then this is like foam in here, so it kind of holds it in place. It's not rattling around. And then the drone just sits in here, very easy to put away. And I think it's battery, take a battery out here, and then the battery, let's see, okay, here's the battery cable, the pigtail. Oh, and the battery will just plug in to here, I think. Yeah, just slides into here, this little space. Pretty nice. And to plug it in, you just do something like that. There you go, got some lights. Pretty cool. I'm going to set that down, and then I'm going to turn on the remote. And it should be bound already. So I'm wondering, one of these is probably for arming. I'm just going to play around here, let's see. Nope, not that one. Maybe this one? Nope. So it's this switch here, arms the motors, and then throttle up. Yep. So obviously I probably want to charge the battery before I play with it, but it looks like that's already bound up. You don't have to do anything, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the goggles here. I'm assuming this red button is the power. Alright, let's go ahead and attach the antenna to the screen here. And let's just detach this and see if we have video. So the power button's here, stable turn on. Oh, looks like the battery is dead in here, so let's charge this up first. Alright, so I got it charged up. Just show some of the buttons here. It's a power record button, search button, menu button, and you have band and minus channel plus. That's to search for channels individually. You have a micro SD card slot here, and there's a 32 gigabyte micro SD card already included. Pretty nice. You have an AV out port here, so if you want to send the analog video out to a bigger screen, you can do that. And you just have your USB-C port over here, an LED showing the charging. Alright, let's go ahead and power this on. There we go, got the logo. Actually, this thing vibrates, and I already have the controller and the drone powered up. You can see the video there, and got some information. It's like an OSD from the screen, so it's on channel 1 on band E, boss cam 57 something. Oh, and the OSD went away after a certain amount of time. This is the drone OSD, and we've got your fly time. That's like a radio signal level, 100% obviously is right next to it. The name of the drone, the mode that you're in. Okay, so it's kind of like Betaflight. The battery level here, 3.8 volts, and then your video channel. So let's see what happens if I switch some modes here. I think, let's see what this does here. Horizon, level mode. So this switch here, all the way over like this, is going to be angle mode. Then you have horizon mode, and then air mode, which is like acro mode. Okay, so it's kind of like Betaflight. So this button here, I'm not sure what that does. It's not documented anywhere. You get like a different sounding beeps. Probably maybe has to do something to do with rates. And then this one here I already know is arming, so there's no indication on the screen that you've armed other than hearing the props. And then this button here, same thing. Not sure what it does, and it's not documented anywhere. Perhaps on the product page there might be some information, but I think all we need is the arming switch and the 3 different levels. And let's go ahead and let's fly it and see how it does. Alright, so as a, I guess, seasoned FPV pilot, I've flown a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment. I can tell where the cost savings have come from. Obviously, they're using brushed motors here. Not great overall, especially if you're looking for performance, but obviously if you're just starting out, it's going to be fine. The controller is using toy grade gimbals. I think they have put in some funky rates and expo into the drone to compensate for the limitations of the controller. Of course, now that a lot of that stuff is exposed, you can go into the OSD and tune PIDs and that kind of stuff and rates. I did kind of take a look at that stuff, and I didn't know what the baseline was, so without that knowledge, it's hard to really know. You'd have to talk to Newbie Drone about that. But yeah, the controller is toy grade. I found out right away when I tried to take off at the beginning of that flight in air mode, and it doesn't feel like you're flying acro mode on a Betaflight drone at all. It's really different. So I just basically stuck it right into angle mode or level mode right away, and that is actually pretty close. So the conclusion I think here is, if you're starting out, the price, it's $159.99. I got the price wrong earlier in the video. It's a you know, for your controller, drone, and goggles and batteries and charger all in a case, it's not a bad price to get you started. You can plug this into a simulator on your PC if you want to practice. So probably going to start off with that and then fly the drone. It's a good way to start. Obviously, you're going to outgrow this probably, depending on your skill levels and how much time you put into it, fairly quickly, I would think. But you could pass it on to somebody else. This is a version 2.5 of this kit. I did not review the earlier versions, so I have no idea what the differences are. So if you're wondering, like, oh, I have version 1 of this kit, should I get version 2.5? Fortunately, since I did not review any of the previous versions of this, I don't have a baseline for comparison to give you any kind of guidance about that. Probably the best thing to do is to go to the product page. The link will be down in the video description. It does point out some of the differences between this one and the previous version, which I think is version 2. And I believe after August 30th, there's going to be like some upgrades. Like I saw on the product page that the batteries are going to be 300 milliamp hours now instead of 250 milliamp hours, so it'll give you a little bit more flight time. So again, check the product page. They will update that with any incremental changes over time, because obviously this review will be quickly outdated because a lot of these companies, they make updates and little improvements and changes to their product over time. So even though I'm technically reviewing version 2.5 of this, you know, maybe by the time you're watching this video, version 3 or 3.1 or 3.2 might be out, who knows. You know, if you go to the link in the product page, all the latest information on what is available now in terms of what you'll be ordering will be on that product page, and I'll probably answer your questions much faster than I can. And also, if you go to the product page and contact them, Newbie Drone via their email, you can probably ask them the same questions, because if you ask me a question, I'm just going to forward to them, and that turnaround time is going to probably be like a month or so. If you just email them directly, you're probably going to answer way faster than going through me. So I think that'll cover this video. Again, link will be down in the video description if you guys want to check this out. Nice little package here to get started. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.